recwnt, and this isn't scripted. I wanna equip you and use against my enemies, yeah. You see, I wanted to save you, and then learn how to raise you, but I forget you from the wilderness.
Hello everyone, what is up? I am Rob.
I am Eamon.
Oh my god, by God, it's John Arnardis.
Jesus.
It is Monster Fuzz, Eamon. How are you doing?
I'm good. Did you finish that
I did.
docu-series?
Finished
What did you
it.
think?
I liked
Episode 6 is like, whoa.
No, I liked it, but
I thought it was very good, yeah.
I feel like they could have twisted the dagger more, and I tell you why I think that they didn't, because
Netflix
my
deal.
brother was telling me Netflix and Raw have a deal, so
Yes.
Raw is going to be shown on Netflix
I
soon.
think that what this started as was to be like, this is a cool
Fluff
Vince
piece about-
McMahon thing.
yeah.
And then they were like, we can't really ignore that he gave a girl a Canadian top hat. So like, but I thought it was done really well. I thought, like, outside of the fact that, like, it's obviously reprehensible behavior, he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
Like, he's interesting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's like the Jinx or something.
Of course, it's like anyone that kind of comes up and becomes a self-made billionaire is obviously...
Did you see the way he tried to get ahead of it? He released the same, like, release some things about me. It's none of it's true. This is in good faith when I had these interviews with the Netflix people. But man, it just brought me back as well, going through the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression, the old 80s. I am a real American.
And I love watching all that stuff. Sure, like I grew up on the wrestling. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Well, I remember coming up here one night before we started doing the podcast, and you were just watching like Royal Rumble 1993 or something.
Back in then. So for our listeners that are wondering what we're talking about, there's a documentary on Netflix about Vince McMahon. It's called Mr. McMahon. Very good, even if you're not really into wrestling. It'll also maybe give you a bit of an understanding about the sport and why it's even entertaining in the first place. I don't really watch it nowadays, but I really love that era. And when you look back, you're like, oh, it makes sense why I loved it, because it was at its peak. It was like at its best possible.
Yeah,
like,
at its best. And I think the other side of it is what's really interesting about wrestling is what goes on behind the scenes of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, arguably the most interesting stuff is not what's shown.
No.
But the most interesting stuff is all the... Like, even back in the old days when you had kayfabe and you had all that, like, the shoot and the mark and all that sort of stuff, and the wrestling terminology and the history of it coming from carnivals and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's really interesting the way that, like, the lads kind of follow the wrestling rules. Some of those wrestlers, the way they talk about it. Like Bret Hart, just like at that part, there's a part where he's going like, I think he tried to kill Owen to get back at me, and I was like, whoa, whoa, that like level of paranoia.
the boys are all mad unhinged.
They are,
Which makes it fun.
do you know, WWE is like Alaska. Like, you know, the way we did the episodes on Port so it's
Port
like
Laws Waterford.
Port Laws Waterford. That's on the fringes
Loch
as
is
well.
the-
Port Loch, but like, it attracts people who are out on the fringes. Maybe less so nowadays. It's more athleticism.
Yeah.
But back in the
it was carnies. It was like
Strong carnies.
It was like lads
Strong cleats.
lads that were into their old lifestyle, you know, and everything that came with it. And I'm sure they all have some mad stories as well. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, like, I remember the lads were down. There was WCW, or it was it mightn't have been WCW, but Sandman was there.
Yeah.
And this down in like
He was
the river
in
bar.
Wexford. Yeah.
And one of my mates was there, and he said the Sandman just had handfuls of change, and he's just slapping him down on the counter and like, give me a shot. And this barman was giving me a shot, and one of my buddies on him goes, hi, are you the Sandman? And he was like, yeah, I'm the Sandman. He's like, I'd love to buy you a drink. You know, the Sandman was like super nice or whatever. But one of our friends then, the strongest man in Europe, he was just like, Simon, are you talking to the Sandman? He was standing beside him because he got like starstruck.
Yeah. I've been starstruck, man. We'll get more to it at the end, I think, because we'll talk about that all fucking night. And our listeners are going, where's the ghost?
I want to know about bats that come out in the night. Well, I will say I have to apologise because I'm going to be sniffly. I'm a little bit flued up.
Consummate professional. He showed up to do the job today.
Sweating some amount.
Yeah,
I'm losing weight fast.
The triple glaze, man, it fucks you up. But anyway, yeah, before we get into this episode, folks, we've got a lot today. We've got cryptids, lots of cryptid stuff, a bit of ghosty stuff, and I think that's about it. But what more could you want, really?
We've got a lot today, cryptids and ghosts.
It's lots of cryptids, what more do you want? But anyway, yeah, head on over to check out Patreon if you want to do a little bit more for the podcast. It really helps us to put out these episodes. You'll get exclusive episodes, you'll get access to the Discord and more. So head on over and check it out. Also, we have merch. I keep forgetting about merch. Check out our Teespring. Head on over. Loads of designs, both old and new over there. So go and check them out. Emma, if you've got any cryptid encounters or spooky experiences, where should I send them?
If, like Richard Grady, you would like to write in and tell us a spooky story, you can write into monsterfuzzpodcast@gmail.com, and we will, of course, read it out on a mini fuzz.
Okay, big shouts out to our new patrons, and bear with me.
There you go.
Alexander Chmielewski and Matthew McGlone. That's a mouthful, that one.
I was watching, I think I was watching a Polish movie recently, and like as the credits were rolling, I was like, who decided to put these consonants together? It's mad.
It's mad. It's just totally different mouth noises to what we're used to.
Me and Paul actually watched a Polish movie together on Netflix the other night, and we were both just looking and goes, how do you say that? Then again, they probably see like O'Neill and they're like, the fuck.
Yeah, or Billington even is probably a bit weird to them. They're like, what is that? So yeah, Richard Grady writes in, Emma, if you want to take it away.
He does. Greetings, lads. Hope you're well. I wrote in a little while with the story of the slightly odd happenings in my house that my partner attributed to the spirit of a child that was lost to a miscarriage. Yes, I remember this. It's not worth writing with everything that happens because after a point, these things just become the norm. But there has been one thing that I've found interesting I would like to hear your perspectives on. Previously, I've caught sight of something moving from the corner of my eye, but only very occasionally. One time I got the distinct impression of someone around the same height and hair colour as my youngest running into another room, but obviously there was no one there. Which brings me to my latest sighting, or maybe shiting, who knows. About a week ago, I was in the living room with the kids and caught movement at the door. I'm sure I caught sight of a child that was somewhere in height between my oldest 8 and my middle daughter who's 5, with a hair colour and style similar to my youngest. On top of this, it seemed like she was wearing a similar style of clothing to them. I didn't say anything at the time, but as we headed upstairs a little later on, middle daughter told me she had seen part of the vacuum cleaner that was sitting at the door moving on its own earlier. That's handy, actually, for doing the cleaning.
Sure it is.
This thing that's striking to me about this is that if I actually am seeing a spirit and I'm not just an idiot imagining things, then it appears to be growing up. Oh, wow.
It's a good name for podcast, actually. We'll trademark that. Idiots imagining things.
Idiots. I thought you meant growing up. I was like, growing up's actually a good name. Idiots imagining things is, that's Monster Fuzz podcast can be our byline. Idiots imagining things. This isn't something I've really heard of before. Most ghost stories seem to have the spirit being consistent in its appearance. It's also weird how it doesn't appear to be as old as it should be, but has also jumped about 3 years in the space of 6 months. I've shared this with my partner, and we've noticed a trend where she will see things much more often than I do, but it's just shadows. The things I experience are far less frequent, but more detailed or more high energy, like things actually moving. So that's it for the spooky stuff. Keep up the good work, boys. That's really interesting. Hot Richard, yeah.
Yeah, that is really interesting. That reminds me at first glances, I'm like, it's like the little kid out of Insidious, which is fucking terrifying. Run around the house.
Oh, when he's like standing up on or jumps out of the locker. Yeah. I think it's a really good idea, actually, that idea of, I know we talked about the miscarriage and like that, there was some sort of soul type
attached
thing. And if that, I've never heard of that before.
A growing
spirit
ghost.
Growing, but I think that is kind of a nice thing if it's someone who would have been part of the family. Like just kind of not even watching over, but maybe in some level. Sometimes I wonder if it's what could have been as well.
Yeah,
like fragments of
multiverse.
Like a different timeline that sort of exists, or there's an echo or an energy of something that may have been there.
That's. Again, it's a story that I often tell when like I'm on another pod or whatever is about that kind of same thing, and I do attribute that to something like a miscarriage as well. And then you're like, it kind of makes sense in a way. I mean,
well, the thing is, if we want to settle this pro-choice, pro-life debate once and for all,
if
we can figure out at what age the ghost of the miscarriage appears, if you're like, before 3 months, we're good. But when you get to like month 4.5, you're like, no more.
Your ass is getting haunted.
That's it, like, yeah. You had your chance, it's over now. No more hangers.
But then in that case, like, wouldn't Planned Parenthood be like something out of fucking Ghostbusters at this stage?
That'd be class.
Like, fucking
what would be better than when you go to Planned Parenthood and it's like visiting
Beetlejuice. Lads are coming out of pensions and all after you, you know. So yeah, no, it is. It's a fascinating thought.
Do you know what would be really good, actually? Here's a good idea for a movie that would make loads of people really angry. Someone gets an abortion after the point of no return, and then it's like they're haunted forever by a growing ghost.
The Republicans are going to be throwing money at us right now.
Republicans have been
we've already got emails.
take my money and vote for Trump.
We've already got emails now going like, we'd be willing to sponsor you.
Yeah. Any idea about JD Vance 2024?
Run with that idea for a movie. Do you know anyone with a camera?
Keeping in mind, we have no ideological ties to this movie. We're just spitballing. But obviously, if that was real, then no. And also, what I think is, a lot of people, I guess, if you're gonna have a kid, you put a lot of it's almost like you imagine what that's gonna be like up front. So you're almost creating that before it's created in a sense. And again, you wonder, is there some sort of energy that can latch onto that? There's a weird, Anna has a really good story about my niece. I won't go into the whole thing because we're gonna get Anna on the podcast someday.
Yeah, well, like next week or something.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get her next week. Are you free next week? Talk to my agent, my publicist. But she has a thing where there was a spirit that attached itself to my niece. And she'll go into it fully, but there's no link between them. It was just, I think, he maybe had a granddaughter or something of a similar age, and it was a spirit passing by effectively that just, I don't know, I don't know if these things are true, you know what I mean? But it's a very interesting story. She had all sorts of ghoul patrol experts in there trying to kind of tell her about it.
We're going to have to find out from Anna herself.
We are.
So we have a cryptid, folks.
Woo!
This is an interesting one now. A couple of people had sent me this, so thanks to those who sent it.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Yeah, and keep sending them as well, by the way. If you ever see any of these interesting stories, just drop me a DM on Instagram, and usually I'll feature them on a mini fuzz if they're worthwhile, and this one is very much worthwhile. So, couple encounter a creature with yellow eyes, huge teeth, and an ear-piercing howl at Cannock Chase in Birmingham. I don't know what's going on.
It's a fucking giant wolf.
Birmingham accent's quite. I think it's Birmingham. This is Birmingham.
Birmingham accent.
So a retired couple claimed to have their evening stroll took a terrifying turn when they stumbled upon a creature with yellow eyes, huge teeth, and an ear-piercing howl. The beast was said to be covered in hair like a giant wolf.
Dogman in the UK. That means he could be in my garden. It's a short swim.
It is.
Class.
But he was standing upright and sprinting around. That's the difference. The eerie encounter happened on July 18th at Cannock Chase, a place described as one of the UK's most paranormally active locations. The couple had parked their car near Pye Green Water Tower before wandering through the woods towards the German military cemetery. That's a weird thing to have in the UK, right?
The German military. Is that just all the lads that died during World War II?
German military cemetery, though.
Yeah, like all the prisoner of wars.
Yeah, maybe.
Take that, proud.
Yeah, maybe. The husband said there wasn't anyone else around that evening and he thought it was a little unusual. He said that his wife noticed a stale smell in the air which became stronger and stronger as they neared the cemetery, sparking fears that they were about to stumble upon a deer carcass. He said, as soon as we stood facing into the graveyard, the smell was at its most powerful. And it was then that we both saw something in the distance moving between the gravestones. It must have been about 8 feet tall, and it was incredibly broad. The creature was covered in hair like a giant wolf or something, but it was standing upright and sprinting around. I said to my wife rather loudly, what on the earth is that? The thing seemed to hear me. It turned around instantly and locked its eyes on us. They were big and yellow, and the creature had huge teeth, which were nothing like we'd ever seen before. That does sound like a Dogman, right?
That's a Dogman, baby. That is a Dogman.
So I don't know why I put that picture there. That was a mistake. But anyway, the man continued, it was at that moment it let out an ear-piercing howl. Yeah. Before running for the fence at the other side of the cemetery, jumping over it and disappearing into the trees. It was the single most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And my wife is so distraught she won't even talk about it.
Talking about it?
Yeah.
It's, to be fair, like, that whole Dogman thing, that's the scariest one for me. I'm fucking terrified of Dogman.
Yeah, Dogman's up there now.
He's coming up, man.
It's going homeless, dying of a really bad illness, and then Dogman in that order.
Going homeless and then being pursued by the Dogman.
Well, that's true as well. If you don't have a house to keep yourself safe from the Dogman.
If you were caught by the Dogman, you'd probably be quite warm on account of all the fire, so you could cuddle into the Dogman and have some sort of weird furry.
Do you think we'll get to a point where man tames Dogman as we did with his canine?
We might
sort
get
of
to a
relatives?
point where Dogman tames man.
Yeah, that's true too.
So like, what would Dogman make us do? Go on, play your video games there. He just looks at us playing Street Fighter 6 and he's like, oh, look at him. This fella.
He's only Diamond fucking 2. Idiot. Yeah, man. Dogman's where it's at.
Dogman's a serious dude, yeah. But like, the demonic idea of Dogman, like, this problem, I listen to so much of this stuff falling asleep that it's warped my fragile little mind.
Yeah.
But the Dogman has a whole lot of stuff about him that's like, he's like Michael Myers, but a Dogman. He just sort of haunts you, you know?
He doesn't like attack you, like
just stalks you.
Oh, does he?
It seems to be, yeah. He'll just hang around and they say like that he has a grin on his face. So imagine Dogman, like your man from Wacky Race.
Just like, scary.
Laughing at you.
Yeah, so Lee Brickley, who was an author and self-confessed seasoned paranormal investigator, he went to the man's home to hear about the incident, and the wife had declined to take part. And he told Birmingham Live, the gentleman recounted the whole story to me. His hands were shaking as he told me detail after detail, and his face went almost ashen, as if he hadn't taken a shit in a week.
In at least a week. Can you imagine though, like trying to explain, like let's say you see the Dogman and you need psychological help. You can't go on to BetterHelp and be like, I saw a well, actually, BetterHelp is probably the best place you should go. Yeah, BetterHelp.
If we had BetterHelp or one of those as a sponsor, I'd be encouraging our listeners to go and tell us BetterHelp about Dogman and Bigfoot.
Sign up to BetterHelp. Actually, as an experiment, I'd be curious to see what would happen if you just started bullshitting.
Yeah, just like
could you record if it's your
BetterHelp? You should be able to screen cap it.
Man, that's an episode a week.
It's just probably like a text chat. So like I don't really advocate people wasting professionals' times.
They're getting paid. They're getting fucking paid.
There's like some other dude with manic depression who like needs to talk to someone.
Counselors. This is like they have capacity.
And all of our listeners are like, yeah, Bigfoot's annoying me at night.
But right, if you so I'd say it'd be really mentally healthy for you to make up stories of Dogman.
Well, look, there's a lot of people that aren't making up stories.
How did you feel when you saw the Dogman?
It's real.
And how did it remind you of your mother?
Did you see there was a YouTube video? I can't remember your man. He's got a mustache, kind of tall dude, and he's an American guy. He does those kind of like let kind of Louis Theroux-esque. Let's explore a little subculture and kind of poke fun at it.
Like John Ronson?
I don't know who his name is, but he went to a Bigfoot convention like last week or the week before the episode came out, like. But it's really funny because there's a guy at the convention, and his full-time job, fair play to him, is he goes and hunts for Bigfoot class, right? That's
pretty cool.
That's goals.
Yeah.
And he's doing like kind of a lecture like out in this open field, and he's like talking about his experiences and stuff, and then there's this other guy with like this big beard, and he's on Zoom, man. We must literally try and get this guy. But like he like interrupts like a WWE fight, and he's like, I've met Bigfoot. And your man's like, oh, all right. And he's like, he talks to me and all this. And your man's like, right, yeah, okay, cool. And he goes on this whole thing and he's like, call me and I'll show you all this stuff about Bigfoot. And your man's like, right, yeah, cool. But it's fairly entertaining.
Can you imagine?
I'm doing it injustice.
Call the guy.
I need to find the name.
And then like,
oh yeah, no. He apparently lives with a lot of Sasquatches, like in the woods.
According to him.
Yeah, according to him.
Where does the line between mental health and Sasquatch over that? Like, at what point are you going like, yeah, I think he's mental? And at what point are you like, he saw Sasquatch or a bear that was standing up and got it confused? Versus, no, he's gone mad. Like when we did the cattle mutilations, I was like, whoa, this is really interesting. And then it was like, and the aliens found me in the mental hospital when I was there. I was like, ooh. But again, that is what you would do if you were trying to discredit the man.
That's you casting judgment, though, you know what I mean? So I thought
that's me using logic to validate whether someone is a reliable source.
No, I thought it was
and he might be, because I was being fair to him.
Put it this way, that lad that was saying that he was living with big feet, he's no different to me than the lads that call in the podcast and say they've seen Dogman all the time. Like, he's in the same vein.
Yeah, but most of them don't say
it's
they
just how
live
it's
with
presented to
Dogman.
you.
Yeah, because most of the lads who see Bigfoot, like, I'm seeing a weird thing in the forest, and they're like, I fucking live with Bigfoot.
But he lives with him, man. If he lives with him, he lives with him.
Like, he does. If he lives with him, he lives with him. Oh, it's hilarious. I love it. Like, I'd love to know, like, so what do you do, like, when you live together with Bigfoot?
Yeah, that's what we'll get him on and ask
like, does Bigfoot
I'll find his name,
dry the dishes and you wash him? Like, how does it? Does he live in the wilds? Like,
yeah, like, he has like a mobile home somewhere or something.
And Sasquatch is like,
he hangs out with him.
Hello.
We'll get him on. I'll find his name. He does Zoom.
I'd love to ask him loads of questions about living with Sasquatch. Like, I really want to know.
That'd be class. Right, Eamon. So we were here in the summer.
We were,
but we missed him.
It
looks like Loch Ness monster's been found, son.
Yeah, they'll do this. They'll do this every now and then, right? And we want Loch Ness monster.
You're wearing your skeptical hat today, are you, bitch?
Listen, bitch. I just
skeptic
think that
today,
I think that when now that I'm 40, I don't have time for childish things anymore. I have to put down these childish things. I don't play Street Fighter 6. I read The Economist.
He does, yeah. He told me to. What did you say to me when I was shit talking you there the other day over text? Go home to your family or something.
I said go home and be a family man. The Guile Win quote. Yes, but I would like to know, if you live with Sasquatch, what is a regular day like?
We're going to find out.
I can't wait.
I'll contact him.
Like, what time does Sasquatch go to bed? Like, just really normal things. What does Sasquatch have for dessert?
What does he smell like?
How much calories do you have to eat if you're a Sasquatch? Like, a shitload.
He lives with him.
Maybe he's just metaphysical. Dream squatch.
I'll play you the clip after this, actually. Yeah,
I'd love that. It's the mythical creature that has captured the attention of people around the world for decades. And now the search for the Loch Ness monster has been taken up another gear. Sean Sloggy.
Slogging man.
Resident Evil. Sean Sloggy. Jill Valentine.
He's been slogging around them legs.
Sean Sloggy. It's such a fucking bad name from the images it conjures. You know? Sean Sloggy. Now, he's a seasoned Loch Ness skipper. He was cruising around the Ness when he spotted a mysterious shape on the sonar. So that's the picture you have up above.
Now, what does that picture look like? And that's on.
I thought it looked like a wolf in a field on a Spectrum ZX.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
That looks like the Loch Ness monster to me.
98.8.
That looks like the Loch Ness monster to me. The red circle thing.
No, I know. Yeah, I know the red circle thing. The thing with the red circle around his Which way is he facing, though? Is that his tail or his head?
No,
but I mean,
sideways.
like, is he going to the left or is he going to the right?
He's moving right across the screen. So
he's going this way. So his long neck.
That's his long neck.
No, that makes sense. That paints a good picture.
Because
he kind of looks like a rat otherwise.
And there's just two dorsals then on the bottom.
Yeah. No,
plesiosaur,
man. Plesiosaur, yeah. Now, you did say that they couldn't have lived there.
No, they're there. Apparently so.
Right, sure I live with them. So
I live with the Loch Ness monster.
I live with the Loch Ness monster. What are you saying?
You say you're tracking the Loch Ness monster. Well, I live with him.
Who's the bitch now? So while its source remains unclear, a Sloggy who's 30 admits he's never seen anything like it. The strangeness of it was chilling. It's the sort of thing that leaves you speechless. Slog and maritime pilot Liam Mackenzie, who's 29.
Slog. So literally in this article just shortened his surname to Slog.
Just Slog, yeah.
It'd be like just going like Neil for you, like just because it sounds
Never mind
funny.
the O. We're running out of ink.
Like, Slog.
Brilliant. Slur. Next it'll just be Slow.
Yeah.
On September 22nd, 2024, while preparing for another vessel's arrival, Sloggy, they're back to his original name now, because it's alliteration, Sloggy's Sonar. See, it's got alliteration. assonance, all that. So the sonar, which is Sloggy's trademarked sonar. The sonar indicated the large object was lurking at a depth of around 98 meters. He described it as the biggest thing I've ever seen, with its elongated shape and distinct features hinting at air pockets. The team couldn't help but wonder if the sonar reading was tied to the infamous Loch Ness monster. We've seen all sorts of fish that shouldn't be here, but this was different, Sloggy said. Despite returning to the scene to investigate, the mysterious contact had vanished, leaving the team baffled. Sloggy admitted, "We're not sonar experts, but I've never seen anything like it." Spookily, the last major sonar contact in Loch Ness occurred almost exactly 4 years ago on September 24th, 2020.
What if it's some kind of liminal creature that only shows up every 4 years?
I was just about to say, It the Clown. Yeah. Anyways, he only comes around every 27 years. Dogman only comes around at years that end with 7, was the original lore, and 2027.
Well, you hunt Loch Ness monster? Well, I live with him.
Those who run with the wolf man have bad news.
I just love to be at those. That's what we really miss here in Ireland, is like those type of conventions, because you and I would have some crack.
Our mad lads aren't as good.
No,
there is a Wicklow Bigfoot hunting society that I think we could probably get on.
Yeah, I don't know what I live
with the Loch Ness monster in Glendalough.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Yeah, it was.
You hunt the Loch Ness monster. Well, I live with the Loch Ness. There's just some other guys like, well, fuck the Loch Ness monster. Like, it just escalates.
Yeah, it's great. I moved to another country. This is a ghost story, by the way. I moved to another country for my girlfriend.
That is a ghost story.
Yeah, it is. And we moved into a house and experienced some unexplainable things. And this is by Reddit user Psychosaur.
Psychosaur. Knee press nightmare.
Okay, so I want to tell about me moving away from my home country and all the way to Germany. Crap. For my girlfriend, and then we ended up moving to, I don't know, a haunted house.
You visited Germany. I sleep in Germany.
If it's even haunted, but there is things I can't explain that happened in this house. Also, English isn't my first language, so sorry if I don't speak.
That's all right.
I want to say that I always look for an explanation for everything, but there is some things I can't explain at all. Okay, so we moved from an apartment in a big building to a house with 2 apartments where her parents live in the one under us and we live in the top one. We also have an attic cover us, but there is only some boxes and old closet and Christmas stuff.
You visit your parents. I sleep with my parents.
One of the things that we keep hearing is clicking, like tapping from outside the door or something. Funny thing. This always happens late at night, and we know the parents usually go sleep early, so they're also usually quite silent. The clicking can be explained by the radiator for the heaters we have, but something that we can't explain is the sounds of cats running around. We have 2 cats, so it sounds similar to when they're running around, but with them it sounds kind of heavy, if I can say that, and when we hear it, it kind of sounded light, and this happens when we have both cats sleeping in the bed. This doesn't, this we don't know what comes from. Okay, the language is a bit mental, but we also hear stuff moving up in the attic and footsteps or doors open and close. Again, this mostly happens late at night when me and my girlfriend are watching TV or just sitting in the living room, minding our own business on each other's tablets. Or on each tablet.
Yeah, they actually have stone tablets.
The modern relationship, huh? Do you feel a bit gimpy? Like I feel a bit gimpy when me and the missus we're both scrolling at the same time. We're just on our phones and like.
You do wonder, gimpy, like, you know, every now and then you're like, do I even have anything to talk to this woman about? You're just like, why am I preferring to read about the man who sleeps with Bigfoot? But I think that's the thing about.
But that's like, because when we were young, like
we didn't have.
We never, like, say our group of friends or anyone like that, like we didn't do that.
But we're the only generation to have not had social media, and then we're the only generation to have not had the internet and then had the internet. Yeah. So I think we're all fucked up. Like, we're not right.
No, I think we're class, man.
No, we're
class.
Really, we're the last cool generation.
You think you use the internet? Well, I fucked it.
You think you use the internet? I sleep with the internet. I just love to have that. I'd love to give that like little fucks about life that I just feel like, sure, I live with them. Like I'd love to just like have my balls were that big that I just like.
You swim with the internet, well, I surf it. But no, that's, yeah, I mean, we didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't.
so we're in this really weird thing where like we're sort of, I think I was speaking to someone about this recently, about in work, say, I'll have like 15 different tabs open constantly because it's a real reactive job, so you're constantly moving things and doing things and blah, blah, blah. But it's made me very like a wolf with hens in my regular life as well.
What do you mean?
Like, if a wolf gets a load of hens, he has to kill. No, he can't even eat them. He'll just kill them all, but he can only eat like one or whatever because he's just like. And like it's the same thing. We've talked about it before. When you're going to do something, I'll constantly be forgetting.
Analysis paralysis is part of it.
Well, yeah, that's
part of it.
Yeah, and you're constantly, you're never thinking of just one thing. Do you know what I mean? Your brain's constantly like even as we're talking now, I'm thinking about scrolling on the phone.
Yeah, you're like
my
girlfriend. I'm thinking about
there's one of my brains that's thinking about something sexual right now. I'm gonna have her bark like a dog and probably suck John Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis, give me a rusty trombone.
Johnny Ace, you came back to the building. I love like how evil he sounds. Just like his voice is so like it's the voice of a man who would do those things.
Yeah, I think to get back to the analysis paralysis on phones, bizarre. Just an observation. It's just like a modern thing that we have. In one way, like, yeah, you're both getting what you want, I suppose, right? But then in the other moment, you're like, we're both. Well, does it create something more individualized?
How do you mean?
Like, because you have your phone, right? So say you and I have a phone. Well, no, you and your missus have a phone, right? Like, you're getting individualized, tailored content to you, the individual, all the time, right? Both these are. So do you think it's more encouraging of an individual kind of way of being rather than the two years maybe without, and myself now, I'm just using you as an example. Yeah. But like, say you didn't have phones, you might find like-minded interests and kind of things might spurn from.
I think you'll always.
What would you do otherwise? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, otherwise you just watch TV, like back when they had our books or what, like there was always something. Because if you're just sitting there, it's pretty fucking lame. Yeah. Now, if you just sit there, we call it meditation, and you spend an hour a day doing it. But we've had to gamify it as well.
Just sit there.
Well, yeah, like that's what meditation is. Just sit there and just try not to get hooked on thoughts. That's meditation.
Brother Richard's book, one paragraph in the middle of 100.
Just sit there.
In the middle of 100 blank pages. Just sit there.
You think you meditate? Sure, I just sit there. I sleep with meditation. But I mean, ultimately, if you list like any of the guys
to distill it down,
no, but they'll say like they oftentimes just be like, look, you can write entire books about it. It's like the whole idea of reaching enlightenment is like you had it all along. It's like, well, what the fuck am I trying to reach then? But that's the whole thing is you're meditating without meaning to meditate. Some people as well, they say, have something called trait mindfulness. Yeah. So it's like you're just born with a higher propensity to be naturally mindful, which means you're not getting hooked on thoughts. And this would be probably to people like us who would have previously gotten hooked on thoughts and been anxious. And that's really just, but that's getting hooked on thoughts, you know? So like if you're just letting things go and you're taking it as it comes, a friend of ours, Matthew O'Brien, he said he was on some mad painkiller a while ago. Shouts out Matthew.
Just like Matthew's on painkiller.
Shouts out Matthew.
Matthew's on the fentanyl song.
You know Matthew, well, I live with Matthew. So he, but he was saying like tramadol it was. He's like, yeah, I was on tramadol or something. And he's like, yeah, just take life as it comes. Like it made him reach mindfulness, you know, because like it just shut off all the parts of your brain that overthink.
He took tramadol and basically became the Dalai Lama.
He took tramadol and reached the seventh circle of consciousness.
So that's on the last page. That's on the epilogue. Is take tramadol.
Well, think of like euphoria. You can reach euphoric places
with tramadol.
Yeah. Or you can reach them through like spiritual practice. Like, do you ever see the lads or hear about the lads who flagellate themselves until they have like DMT type experience? Or you can just take DMT.
Yeah, but that's true too.
You take DMT when I sleep with DMT.
I fucked the machine elves.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get back to ghosts.
This lad's attic's making noise anyway.
2 or 3 months ago, after we moved in, we were laying in the bed and we had gotten everything in order so that the apartment looked like a home. We had gone to bed early because my girlfriend had to work the day after and I had a job interview. After my girlfriend fell asleep, I would sit up like maximum 1 hour later, either to read, scroll on TikTok, have a masturbation, or play games on my phone.
Here's one for you. I've talked to lads before, right? Speaking of having masturbations.
I think I know where this is going to go, but tell me.
Lads have told me before
that
I've never done this.
Okay, right.
That they will have a masturbation in the bed when the girlfriend is there.
That's psychotic.
And she's not participating at all. You think you masturbate?
That friend. That's Bill Cosby.
So he like, she'd be asleep in the bed and he'd be like, oh yeah, have a Tom hanging. Like, you'll at the very least you go to the ensuite. Like, come on.
Absolute degenerate.
Like, but I've heard that from several lads who are like, oh yeah, well, like, you just like, no, they're not abusing the person, but they are also having a sex act by themselves in the same bed, which to me is just
maybe I don't know, maybe it's open like that. Maybe it's just that relationship open like that. I mean, is that 100% open? Do you know? Well,
I think you're allowed to have an open relationship with yourself.
But like, if my missus walked in on me when I'm having shit in the toilet, I'd be annoyed. Like, I don't mind it, but I wouldn't mean to.
Now, I'd understand if the situation called for it. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, yeah, of course.
Like, if I'm there having, like, I don't want someone coming in there seeing me with a big beetroot head. Like, you don't want that. She's like, I'm just getting a hair clip. You're like, no, your hair can wait. Yeah. But maybe she
needs to do something.
Something important,
that's fine.
Right? You know, or I've had it where I've been having a shower and she needs to pee
that's
really
fine.
bad.
That's grand.
Like,
that's grand. That's all grand.
That's all good.
Masturbating beside your partner in the bed, that's probably different. Not great.
That's different. Like, that is different.
That seems like one of those gateway behaviors.
But to them it seems normal. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I'm saying, but like,
for some people having a wank at work is normal. It's like, yeah, I have a wank at work, whatever. For other people it's like that's fucking brazen behaviour.
This is absolutely brazen is the right word for it. It's completely brazen behaviour. I mean, if the partner's alright with it, I suppose, you know.
Well, this is the thing. Like, does the partner even know about it? I know about it, but here's the thing. You mustn't think it's something too weird if you say it to me.
Yeah.
You're a co-worker.
Yeah.
Hey, this boss. Is a man who doesn't work with the company anymore. But yeah, it was just, I was like, oh, wow, like that's a mad thing to like, I don't know, just, it was like, oh yeah, you just, you know, getting no one off the wrist there. She's asleep in the bed or whatever. Like, if I woke up and Paula was just like, I'm like, what the fuck?
If I was the woman, I'd probably be like, would you not just wake me up when you ride, or I'll do something about it for you? Like,
she might be happy that she wasn't. She'd be like, as long as you're
depends
not touching
on the woman
me.
Though. Some women would be like, oh, this dirty fucking fiend is like wanking over.
Yeah, I think it's an acceptable response to have to be like,
that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Because some women, like, they wouldn't even entertain, and probably lads, I don't know, if a woman was strumming herself off to a lot of hardcore stuff all the time, they wouldn't probably like it either. But some women don't like it at all, like, in a relationship.
Well, I think, I like.
You know what I mean?
Look,
because you're fantasizing, lusting, or for something.
Sorry, like, well, sorry about that. There, you think you lust after women, but it's a funny thing, because there is that, like. I think people, you know, you have a certain element of openness in your relationship. Like, I don't think you need to, like, write a debrief every time you have a Tom Hank and be like, just so you know, and there's no lies or secrecy between us.
It's not problematic.
No, if you're having 13 wanks a day,
that's too much.
You might
5.
Be.
No.
It was like 5 a week.
No, is like, 13 is
5 wanks a day.
Every 2 hours.
What's your, like, every 2 hours? 10 hours.
Set an alarm on your Fitbit or whatever. It's time now.
5 a day is, I don't think I've ever hit 5 a day, even as a young fella.
Your Mickey would fall off, like, especially at our age, like, it's not able to take.
I think you only have a certain amount of erections left, so you have to use them wisely.
Nah, my Mickey's like Johnny Knoxville out with Jackass, and I was done that many stunts over It's got broken ribs and a bad hip and shit like that.
Your Mickey's lost height from all the leg drops he used to do.
It's not happening. Anyway, we'll try and get through this ghost story, I suppose.
Sure, look.
He was sitting beside his girlfriend. She fell asleep. Now he's on TikTok and he's playing games on his phone. I remember he doesn't have a Steam Deck, clearly, anyway. I remember I heard a whisper from the living room, and at first I thought it was the TV he was on. that we had forgotten to turn it off. I stood up and checked, but no, it was off. I checked the gaming room in case I'd left the PC on, but it was off. I tried not to think about it and went back to bed. By the way, my girlfriend is not talking in her sleep either, so I know it wasn't her. The thought hit me, but I figured out it wasn't the case either. When I laid back in bed to keep on being on my phone. Alright, this is weird. Like,
it's just, because it's English, not the first language. It's got the way he
to resume
things.
My state of phoneliness. I heard a clear whisper inside the room. A clear hello, like it was a question. I turn on the light and my girlfriend woke up. She is kind of a light sleeper. And she asked me what the hell was I doing.
What the hell are you doing, John Laurinaitis?
Stop masturbating in the bedroom.
Jesus Christ.
Get out.
My God, he's taking his tackle off in the bed beside his girlfriend.
I didn't want to tell her there and then because she would think I was crazy. When I told her a few months later, she would say that she had heard the same thing just slightly 4 months after me. There have been more things like the things disappearing and turning up in places where we didn't leave them and other small things like that. But that's the story, long and short.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think of that, Em?
Not great. Yeah, I don't know. Initially, I was like, he goes, the parents go to sleep earlier, and then we hear a strange clicking sound, and I was like, they're clapping.
Yeah, they're doing
clapping.
the fucking yeah. Who would want to live above your parents like that? That's not great now.
To be fair, in the current economic
everyone
climate,
has to. Well, I fucking did it for long enough.
Yeah.
Fucking, do you know what I mean? It's not great.
Some of the happiest times of my life, childhood. You were friends with my parents when I slept with my lived with my parents. No, yeah, I really enjoyed living with my folks again when the lockdown was happening. Yeah. I really enjoyed. That was great. Then I moved in with my stupid wife. Yeah.
No, your parents are good people. Your parents are peoples.
Your parents are good peoples.
Painful.
Mario Van Peoples.
Yeah, they're alright.
They're good peoples. They're good peoples.
Yeah.
We were blessed.
Cecil peoples. So Netflix, get back to Netflix. Tell you what else I watched.
What did you watch?
Outlast season 2. I really like Outlast.
Outlast.
I talked about season 1 probably when I watched it. I didn't watch it, I don't think, when it was live. I think I only caught it a year ago maybe. It's that Alaskan wilderness reality show on Netflix.
Oh, right.
Really good. It's fun. Motherfuckers. Check it out. So basically the crux of it for listeners that aren't familiar is you're airdropped into the Alaskan wilderness, I think leading up to winter. And basically there's teams of 4. And I think it's 5 or 4 people per team. And during the show, you can switch teams if you want or do whatever. And then at the end, there'll be some kind of challenge where you can, you try and win, compete against the other team or whatever. But basically, long story short, you're trying to survive with nothing. All they give you is, I think you get one axe for the whole camp. You get 2 tarps. And a few little.
Is it kind of like a Naked and Afraid type thing? Yeah, okay.
And so they all have to forage and all have to try and, but some of them or you're just going what is going on? There was one camp, and it's not really a spoiler because it's fairly early on in season 2, where one camp doesn't get a fire until 7 days into the show. 7 nights in Alaska where it's minus degrees.
And what do? They have to lump into each other.
But you're still fucking freezing to that.
Yeah, it sucks. So. And then if it gets to a certain point, I assume they bring in the health and safety dudes.
Yeah, and you can leave at any point you want yourself personally. But it's really cool. It's actually a really good show. I really enjoyed the 2 seasons.
Yeah, I watched recently. I watched a couple of episodes of Naked and Afraid, and I was it just happened to be on one night, and I was it's actually quite fun to watch. And it's the psychology of, because a lot of people work as a community, but then ultimately the goal is to win 100 grand or whatever, so it starts to get spiky.
That's what, it's very same as that. I think Jason Bateman, he produces it.
The fella, the actor, from Ozark.
Yeah, he's his executive producer on it. Yeah, but it's really fun, cool personalities, lots of just bizarre decisions, and it's just funny to see how people kind of survive and they're living off like a handful of crabs.
Ants and shit like that, yeah.
Like a handful of crabs that they foraged or like something like that. But there's loads of cool moments where they're out hunting and trying to get like squirrels and shit like that. It's cool.
Yeah. No, that's good. The last thing I was watching that there's a great animated show called Scavenger's Reign on Netflix, which is worth checking out. You'd probably quite
Is that
like
the Viking one?
No, this one is like, I'm not really sure. I've only watched the first episode. The animation, the backgrounds especially look really, really cool. But they do a really good job of creating, it's like humans are seeding another planet. That's what it looks like so far, at least. I'm not too far into it. But the flora and fauna of this planet, they do really, really well. Like not the monsters, the aliens look class. And they're not kind of like...
Xenosy?
No, there's no Zanussi now, unfortunately, in kind of an empty sitting room, just doing its downward dog. But that's pretty good. And I've been watching another show I've really been enjoying called Horror's Greatest.
Oh, yeah.
That's class. Like, it's just basically like they have themes for the show.
I've heard about this, yeah.
It's really, really good. So one theme would be like tropes and cliches, like let's split up, the last girl trope, all that sort of stuff.
First black guy, first to die.
I don't think they broached on that, but yeah, they do have a lot of black people talking about those kind of things in horror and sort of show. I wouldn't say talking about things being problematic or whatever, but they're kind of saying it, like the fact that in the book of The Shining, apparently I've never read the book, but the black guy who has The Shining doesn't die in it, and he gets axed in the chest in the movie. But then in the remake, or not in the remake, in the sequel, Mike Flanagan kind of brings him back as a ghost guy who couldn't talk to Danny, and she was talking about how that was good and it sort of undid, because there's a lot of people that hate Kubrick's The Shining because it veers so far away from. I think it's a great movie, but again, I've never read the Stephen King book, so
Kubrick's a genius. It doesn't even have to be like King's book. They can both exist.
Yeah,
and be good.
I agree.
You know
I think it's a great movie as well. But I've never read the book.
I don't think reading the book would change anything for me. As a matter of fact, if it is that different, then I'd be like, oh, I'd love to see someone make this version.
Yeah. Like I like when we get video game remakes and they veer off. Like Final Fantasy is a good example, you know.
A reinterpretation.
But I can't remember if it's the second or third episode, but one of them is creatures, and that's getting into like Jaws, Godzilla. I really enjoyed that. And then the next one is Japanese horror. Cool. And lots of old Sweet Home, Sweet Home. Sweet Home, that was 100 and something there when I saw it. That was the first time I'd seen it in France. But yeah, no, it's a great little show, especially if you like horror movies, and it makes you want to watch some older movies that you've probably never heard of.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on. It's a Shudder production, so it's on there. So I definitely watched it on Shudder that I pay a subscription for.
I must check that out. Yeah, no, I had heard good things about that. All right,
it's just done really, really, really well.
Yeah. I think as well, people that listen to this will probably dig Outlast as well, because it's that outbacky wild kind of thing. Yeah, like I'm sure the show could take a turn for the fucking mental, because there was one point where they were out hunting and like two of the boys just stumbled across a black bear cub, and I was like, oh, this can go south very quickly. Yeah, and they never found him. Really? But like I was like, oh, this could go.
Yeah, that happened to us in Canada. Yeah, we went to Whistler, which is where like the Winter Olympics were in Canada that year. And there was a place called the Lost Lake. So we were out there, whatever. And on the way back, there was these tiny little, well, not tiny, they're big enough. They're black bear cubs. And the ranger was there with the gun. Like, and he was like, everybody just chill out. Don't do anything. It's very, like Canada, I think they're kind of used to stuff like that happening there. But the Ma didn't come. It was safe. We went away. But it is, like even doing we did a golf course over there, landscaping. And there was two bears, and one of the bears was getting on his hind legs. Because I suppose, like, you know, not that they're threatened, and black bears aren't as aggressive, I don't think. But he was kind of, I suppose, trying to show dominance or something.
Territorial thing or
something. Tree, yeah. They say if a black bear attacks you, like, fight for your life. But if a grizzly attacks you, play dead. You know, either way, you're getting eaten ass first.
If it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow.
Black, heart attack.
I think, like, I mean, trying to do anything with a bear when you're that close to it, you're probably just like, fuck this.
Yeah. I just take out my Steam Deck and just be eaten alive. Yeah.
Yes, that story definitely recalled it on the pod of that Russian girl where I don't know whether it's true or not. Like some people dispute it, but apparently, like basically, she got caught by a grizzly, and you know, she called her ma, but like she was getting eaten as she was on the phone to her. Like,
there's that, isn't there? That the movie Grizzly Man.
Yeah,
they don't
that's
play
similar,
it for you, but they have a thing with the phone as well.
That's similar.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, they get savaged in a tent.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a bear coming into your tent and eating you alive? And like a bear, it's like whatever if a jaguar gets you, they get the jugular, they bite the neck. They
don't
like
give a fuck.
Bear just eats you alive.
You
like
just
that's
have to
the
hope you
worst.
pass out,
dude.
At some point, you're just
Can you
like
imagine a bear just and it'll go for your guts because that's where they want to get the nutrients. Like that's. Get all your fucking Twix bars and all, like that's it's so what would you say? You think you're eating me, but I sleep with Bigfoot. Like it's horrible.
Yeah, I think I just resigned to the fact. I think I'd be like, fair play to you.
I wonder how much
ballots.
pain your body would actually let you feel because you'd be so full of adrenaline. Do you know, like if you ever get in a fight, someone hits you a dig, you don't feel
true.
the pain
Yeah, that's
until
true.
afterwards.
Yeah.
But like,
there's me guts.
Imagine just looking at something
like,
eat your guts. Like, do you ever have an operation or something where they're like, even if they're just drawing blood, you see the needle go into your arm, you see the blood trickle down, and you see the blood going into the syringe, and you're just like, a fucking shark ate me. Like, just the bear, just. My God.
Lads see gnarly stuff all the time, to be fair. Like, same on wars and all, you know?
Oh, yeah. Lads just trying to put their guts back into their stomach and all.
Legs getting blown off and shit, you know? Like a fucking, like a sock hanging off the end of your foot, basically, because it's all the
But even think about,
mashed.
like, do you ever see the fella, he's trying to deadlift and, like, his fucking arse falls out? Yeah, like.
Class.
Like. And I'd way rather that happen to me than a bear eat me.
Seen actually on Reddit, they were doing a routine colonoscopy on someone and they found a ladybird up his arse. There's a picture of it.
How did that get there?
No, apparently, so.
They can just crawl.
No, do you know what it was? So apparently, it's like this weird. One of the theories that they have, because they're like in the picture, like the ladybird is just walking up the walls of the colon going, "This is class," and it's alive, like, and what they reckon is that the prep that you drink for the colonoscopy, right?
Yeah.
Somehow when he was sleeping, probably after taking the prep, the ladybird got down his mouth, and because the contents of his stomach was diluted, and also because the chitin on insect shells we can't really digest very well, so because the stomach acid was diluted, and because this is a chitin creature, swam through it his business or whatever, maybe your stomach was turned the other way to where he could actually walk up and get through. But yeah, he was on his little adventure up the arse.
That must be horrible. I've had a colonoscopy before, and like literally the doctor's looking at a screen. It's like HD inside me, inside out. But like I can only imagine what it would be like to see a fucking ladybird in your own body.
And can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's kind of like there's a screen there, so there's a camera on the thing. If they need to take a biopsy, like it's like Jaws. Like, you see it from this point of view, and it just goes.
But I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, I was on fentanyl.
Will they tell you? Like, can you just be like, I don't want to see
They
this?
make you fart by pressing on your belly. Like,
nice, yeah.
So, and they're all like, no, just do it, because the gas will, like, he's basically going like that inside you, trying to check all this stuff. And, like, you can feel it. It doesn't feel horrible, but it's pressure.
Yeah.
And then because they're moving things inside you, obviously wind is getting pushed around. So the nurse, like, gives you fucking macho man elbow drops to try and get, like, gas. Yeah. And then she tells you you're doing great. But, like, there's no shit in you because you've drank
clean as a whistle.
Oh, man. You're like a fucking slalom. So, like,
good at your dinner
it's just, well, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. It's bizarre, yeah. And so you're looking inside yourself then as he's doing the thing, and he's going, oh yeah, that's grand. Like, I have to get it every 10 years, they say, because I had the
colitis.
It's not quite colitis. It's like, it's weird. Mine shouldn't have healed, but then because I smoke a cigarette a day, the doctor was like, this is way better.
But that's why you were Told it was it at the time?
It's like proctitis, which is, so it kind of goes proctitis, colitis, Crohn's in terms of severity.
Yeah.
So Crohn's and colitis are like, I'm gonna shit till I die.
Yeah.
Proctitis is the opposite because of the inflammation. It's like, now it's harder to pass stuff. Just being totally open with you guys. Arse. Yeah, so like, but it does mean that like before you get it kind of under control, you can like, it can be very uncomfortable before you get under control.
Smoke bags.
Well, you're like you said, a lad who looks like he hasn't had shit. You know, like that's because you're like, yeah, I haven't had a proper shit in like 7 days.
That's like Tombstone out of Spider-Man.
And every time I try to take a shit, there's blood everywhere. Class. And you're like, I have cancer.
Class.
And then you go and he's like, yeah, it's really bad. But then it's like the irony of the universe is like, what if you just smoked 1 cigarette a day and risked cancer to stop the symptoms of cancer without having cancer? And you're like, all right.
There you go, folks. Medical advice.
Live free or die hard.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bruce Willis.
A fucking shock. Yeah, last week when I thought he was dead.
I've been Rob.
I've been Eamon.
Mini Fuzz, over and out.
I sleep with Mini Fuzz.
Get out of here, you big Fuzz.